Alright, Shalom. Shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you with another lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Okak. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. Alright, the elect of the nation of Israel is 33.3% and the 144,000. The 144,000 are 12,000, 12,000 which consists of men, 12,000 men from each tribe. And that makes up of the 144,000, which is the house of David, the tabernacles of David. So in today's lesson, we're going to go into just, this will be a quick lesson just to hit the main points, to let you know that the Edomites are still here on the earth today, and they are the ones who are ruling us right now. They're ruling the earth right now. Genesis chapter 25, verse 22, and we're gonna go down, to the 27th verse. Genesis 25, verse 22 down to 27. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai. So this is Rebekah. This is when Isaac and Rebekah had Jacob and Esau. Right? This is going all the way back. Okay, so we're going all the way back to, educate you, to let you know, who was the first so-called white man that appeared on the earth. Okay, and why did he look like that? Where did he come from? All right, so we're gonna take it all the way back from the beginning of time. Genesis chapter 25, verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations, okay, pay attention, very important, 2 nations are in thy womb. But aren't they twin brothers? Right? But they're 2 nations. Okay, very important. And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, because this is why the Edomites hate the Israelites. All right, the so-called white men that believe in Satan and Baphomet, not the so-called white men and white women that believe in the Lord. Because you guys are good folks. Remember that. You guys are good people. There's a difference. Okay, the so-called white people that believe in Satan and Baphomet, those are the Edomites. All right, they hate the Israelites. They were created to. That's why 2 manner of people, 2 nations, are in her stomach. See, but they should be, almost the same, right? Because they're twin brothers, right? It's not. Although they are twin brothers, they they're totally different people, because the Edomites and Israelites were completely opposite. The Edomites are carnal, they're non-patient, and the Israelites are spiritual, and they're more patient, they're more humble. See? 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people. Yeah, because the Israelites are stronger than the Edomites. The only reason why the Edomites are ruling right now is because the Lord gave them the boost. They have their AI, they have that. If the so-called white man didn't have that Gatling gun, he could have never have taken down the so-called Native American Indians, which are the tribe of Gad, Reuben, and Issachar. All right, because those are the so-called Mexicans, that were here. The so-called North American Indians. That's the tribe of Gad. All right. So just to prove that the tribes, the Israelites, are stronger than the Edomites. Like let's say without any guns. Just who's stronger? Who dominates in the UFC in boxing? Don't worry, I'll wait. Every now and then, you might have a so-called Russian, a so-called white man here and there as a champion. But predominantly, generally speaking, who dominates in boxing in the UFC? You tribes. The so-called blacks, Latino, going from the so-called Cubans, Brazilians, to so-called Mexicanos, to the so-called Puerto Ricans, all the way down to the so-called Northern American Indians, because we're stronger, and the elder shall serve the younger, right? Because right now these Edomites are only ruling for a temporary time. Those are the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, Biden, Trump. Those are Edomites. Facts. And when her days, remember, because although they say they believe in the Lord, especially the politicians, they're just they swear in on the Bible. They don't believe in the Lord. They believe in Satan and Baphomet. 100%. 100%. They don't believe in Yahushua, who the world stubbornly calls Jesus Christ. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. So because that's what Esau, okay, who later name changed to Edom, means so Esau, that word in Hebrew means ashashwa, because it means wasted away is he. Because the so-called white man, they have no pigmentation, no melanin. They have leprosy. It's a curse. Okay. Even the so-called Chinese, they were dark, but they started to get light, throughout the years. But every other nation, other than the Edomites, had some type of color, some type of melanin, some type of pigment. The Edomites are the only people on the earth that look like that, But he have convinced and deceived the world that everybody else is messed up, and that, that God looks like him, that Yahweh looks like him, so-called white man. Was completely false. It's the opposite way around. The Most High looks like us. The angels look like us. Facts. The so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. Facts. But predominantly they look like Yahweh and Yahushua look like a so-called black man. All right, facts. So the so-called white man, he's the only oddball here on the planet Earth, but he convinced everybody that he's the shiznit, and that God's with them. The Lord's not with them. All right, that word God just simply means power. All right, they're cursed. Esau, that name in Hebrew means ashashwa. That means wasted away is he. All right, then his name, why? Because he came out like that. Imagine everybody on the earth was, dark skinned. Some, different shades of brown, because even the so-called Arabs, the so-called East Indians, even the Africans, everybody has some type of color. It's just the so-called white man. He's the only one. He's the only oddball on the planet. All right, but he convinced everybody that he's a shiznit, and that we're supposed to look like him. No, it's the opposite. He's the one who got cursed, like that. Because when Cain slew Abel, remember, he lied to his dad and said, "What am I, my brother's keeper?" And he killed his brother. So the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, didn't jack him up in that life. He waited till he came back all the way in the reincarnation, back as Esau. That's why Esau lost the birthright. That's why he lost the blessing, because of what he did as Cain. Because remember, he lied to his father and said, he goes, "Hey, where's your brother?" Remember when Cain's father said, "Hey, where's your brother Abel?" He goes, "What am I, my brother's keeper?" Because he killed his brother, and then he lied to his father about it. So that's why the Lord's like, "All right, I'm gonna get you back, but in the next life," because that's how cold the Lord is. When you do something, he won't even get you back in this life. He'll let you live your full life, and then when you come back in the reincarnation, then he'll get you. And that's how he got Cain. This is why you Edomites lost your birthright, because you came back as Cain. See that? It wasn't necessarily that Cain, because he did supplant you, but it had to go down like that in the spirit. Because remember, when Esau, when he was Cain, he killed his brother, and he lied to his father. See that? So that's why the Lord says, "All right, Cain, I'm not going to get you right now." Because remember, he cried to his dad, said, "Well, my punishment is going to be everyone's just going to look at me, this is too much for me." So he said, "All right, everybody leave Cain alone, no one mess with Cain." Remember that? So Lord, but still, that's a big offense, to kill your brother and then lie to your father. So that's why the Lord's like, "All right, bet, it's all right. Like, all right, you don't want to feel the fire right now. That's okay, but I'm going to get you back in your next life." So when Cain came back in the reincarnation as Esau, when Isaac and Rebekah had Jacob and Esau, that's why he came out like that, cursed with leprosy, and he lost to Jacob the birthright, and the blessing. That's why it went down the way it went down. Because Esau is Cain in the reincarnation. Because the Lord was getting him back for what he did. And that's how cold the Lord will be. He won't even get you back in this life. He'll wait till you come back a whole nother lifetime. Imagine that. That's why you gotta fear the Lord. And that word Edom, it means Idaiwam, it means red. Because they're reddish, they're pinkish. They're not white. If you ever see a so-called white man on TV and they're wearing like a white collar shirt, then you'll see like, oh yeah, look at like their skin will be like a little pinkish, a little reddish. But the white collar shirt, that will be white, Genesis chapter 25, verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. So totally two different people. And the one people shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And there were twins in her womb, right? Jacob and Esau. And the first came out red. That's why they changed his name from Esau to Edom. All right? Esau means Ashashwa, wasted away is he. Because can you imagine, everybody was dark. And Esau was the first so-called white man on the earth. Can you imagine how everybody looked at him? Like, oh, damn, what the hell? Can you imagine? All right. So that's why the so-called white man looks like that. Because they have the mark of Cain on them. Because they are the wicked. Remember, just because somebody looks... But we're so far later in the game now, it doesn't matter that somebody looks like a so-called white man. Doesn't mean necessarily that they're wicked or evil. Because there's so-called white people out there that are Israelites. They look like so-called white people, like Edomites, but they're actually Israelites. Because they're so-called, Caucasians that look like Edomites. Shalakim, all right? But they're Israelites. They believe in the Lord. See? But there's also so-called white people out there that they believe in Satan and Baphomet. Those are Edomites. See, there's a difference there. And the first came out red like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. Esau is Ishashua, wasted away is he. Because remember, everybody had color back then. Everybody had some type of melanin, some type of pigment. But Esau was the first one to come out like that. Can you imagine? To come out looking like Bob Barker. Like, what the hell? Like, what's up with this dude? That's why they named him Esau. That means Ishashwa, wasted away is he. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. That's our forefather. All right, the so-called blacks, Latino, and Native American Indians. That's our forefather, Jacob. So the forefather of the so-called white man is Esau, and the so-called forefather in the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, our forefather is Jacob. See that? But Jacob and Esau, they came out of the same stomach. Okay, they were born together. Because the so-called the Edomites, they're our evil twin brother. See? But the reason why they hate us is because they're supposed to. They were created to hate us. It's just the way the Lord made it. It's just the way it is. So you think like, have you ever asked yourself, damn, why is the so-called white man, why does he hate, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians so much? Yeah, because, you say, oh, my grandpa, they were racist and all that. That word racist, okay, that word racist means that you're for your people. Because everybody's racist, if you think about it, because everyone's for their people, Facts. Because, the so-called Chinese, who do they surround themselves with? So-called Chinese, Sometimes they'll mingle among, like, the Israelites and Edomites, but predominantly, who do they want to hang out with? Who do they marry, Every now and then, yeah, you have, like, a so-called Chinese, they'll marry, like, an Israelite or an Edomite, but that's, like, it's rare, But usually people, they marry their own type of people. Because, it's just the way it is. The so-called Chinese, what do they eat? So-called Chinese food. Go to the Northern Kingdom, the so-called Mexicans, the so-called Latinos. What are they eating? Are they eating American food all the time? No, sometimes, but most of the time they're eating their type of food. See? When there's boxing and all that, the so-called Mexicans, they're rooting for their people. Sometimes, yeah, they'll like a so-called black, a so-called gabacho, you know, here and there. But most of the time, they're like, oh, I'm going for this guy because this guy's like us, you know? It's just the way it is, you know? So that word racist, that means that you're for your people. The Lord's racist because the Lord's for Israelites. The Lord's not for all the world. He only coming for the Israelites and the elect. See, so that word racist, okay, it doesn't mean that you hate another people. That word racist, this is why you guys gotta know the meaning of words. It means that you're for your people. But everybody's like that, you know? Yeah, I mean, you may be cool with other people, but predominantly, you're for your people. Who do you surround yourself with, you know? Of course, you're gonna have, you know, some heathens and stuff you hang out with, but, you know, predominantly, just look around, you know? Look at your family, you know? Sometimes you'll see, like, you know, like our women, they'll hook up with, like, an, you know, Edomite here and there, but most of the time, they're hooking up with their own people. See? Why is that? Because if you think about it, everybody's racist. You know, everybody, you know, at the end of the day, you know, they may be cool, yeah, with some heathen, like, yeah, that person's cool, you know? But at the end of the day, everybody's usually for their people, you know? They cheer for their country and their people. It's just the way it is. You know? Facts. That's why, like, that's why, like, you evil agents out there, you know, when you're getting paid to take down your own people, you're just like a lost cause. You're a two-time loser, you know? Because you're working with the enemy to take down your own people, your own kind. You know, you're a two-time loser. But we'll leave it right there. We're gonna focus on Esau, you know, to let you know the history of how he began, how the first so-called white man appeared on the planet Earth. Genesis chapter 25, verse 25. Genesis 25 and 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. That's why, and they call his name Esau, which later was changed to Edom. Alright, was later changed to Edom. Because Edom means Idawam, it means red. Because they're red, they're not white. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 3 years old when she bare him. Genesis 25 and 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. Right, so who likes to go hunting? Who kills for a sport and then puts up like the deer heads in their cabins? Don't worry, I'll wait. So-called white man. That's just showing you the characteristics of Esau, the Edomites, that they're still here. A man of the field. Yeah, because who's out there, you know? Esau. And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And we'll stop right there. Alright, now we're going to go to the book of Obadiah. Okay, now we're going to go to the book of Obadiah. This is going to, we're going to read verse 1 down to the 10th verse. This is going to go into the characteristics of the Edomites. So now you already got, okay, this is how, why does the so-called white man look like the way he looks? Because they have the mark of Cain. Because Esau was the first so-called white man to appear on the planet Earth. Okay, why did the Lord do Esau like that? Because he punished them, because Esau is Cain in the reincarnation. This is why he made him look like that with the leprosy. And then he had Jacob supplant him, because it wasn't ultimately up to Jacob, it was up to the Lord. Because remember two things, he lost his birthright and he lost his blessing, right? Right. Why? Because when he was Cain, he lied to his father. He killed his brother and lied to his father. 2 accounts. So that's why the Lord says, alright, fine. Because remember, when that happened, if you guys read that story, what happened with Cain and Abel, Cain cried to his dad, like, you know what? I can't take it, you know, because everyone's gonna look down on me and everything. So his father said, alright, nobody mess with Cain, you know, unless I'm gonna avenge him 7,000 times, you know. So the Lord said, fine, I'm not gonna get you right now, Cain, but I'm gonna get you in your next life. But he didn't tell him that, but that's just like the Lord said that, you know, to himself. So that's why that's why it went down the way he went down. This is why he lost his birthright, you know, and he lost the blessing. It wasn't ultimately because Jake just robbed them. It's because the Lord had that go down like that, because that was Cain. That was Cain's judgment, because Esau is Cain back in the reincarnation. All right, so that's called payback. You know, judgment. You have to pay for what you did. So the Lord didn't get Cain back in his past life. He got him when he came back as Esau. That's why it went down the way it went down. Right? So Esau was the first so-called white man on the planet Earth. All right? That the so-called white man, your forefather is Esau. That's your forefather. All right? And for the Israelites, our forefather is Jacob. And our forefathers came out of the same womb, the same stomach as Rebecca. All right? When she's pregnant, she had twins. But that didn't necessarily mean that they were the two same people. Remember Genesis 25, two manner of people, two nations are in thy womb. See that? Because we're complete opposite. That's why there's so much hatred. You know, you can say, oh yeah, let's try to get along. It ain't gonna happen. There's always gonna be that tension there. Yeah, you may get along just for, just to kind of get by, but in the back of your head, you don't like us, and we don't like you. It's just the way it is. Yeah, we may be polite, you may be polite, but in the back of your head, you're like, I can't stand them. Same thing with us, right? We can't stand you neither. Barker, you say F us, we say La Tuya. Right back at you, baby. Right back at you, Barker. Sure, like, oh, you can't stand us. Same thing, we can't stand you either. You can't dance, you ain't got no salt, you ain't got no flavor. You're goofy, you're corny. The Israelites, they got the salt, they got the flavor. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 1 all the way down to the 10th verse. Now we're going to go into the Edomites, their characteristics. The vision of Obadiah, thus says the Lord, Hawabah Shem Yahushai, concerning Edom. See? No? Because Esau, name changed to Edom, means red. Idaiwam means red. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is set among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Right, because these Edomites have went around the world, starting with Christopher Colon, aka Christopher Columbus, when they went over there, raped, robbed, and murdered, and pillaged, the Israelites. That's why, like Brazil, Chile, Mexico, right now, there's a lot of people that are poor. There should be no reason why over there in South America that the people are poor over there. That land is rich with resources. The reason why the people are suffering is because the so-called white man, the Edomites, okay, they infiltrated those governments and set up their bullshit systems. Now people are suffering. Because Esau has sent in, CIA, MI6, and took out their leaders. Okay, and now set up their leaders who they want in office, who are puppets, who do exactly what they say. See, but now the majority of people are hurting. Now they're hurting, so that's why they're suffering. That's why there's so much violence and all that, because a lot of people, they need help. They need help because, like, there's poor. Why is it so poor? Before Christopher Columbus went there, Mexico, South America was a paradise. Our people knew how to live off the land. But it's when the so-called white man went there, you set up your bullshit system, with your taxes and, do this and do that. You build up these bogus jobs and all that. Now our people are suffering because of your bullshit system. See, before Christopher Columbus, before you guys went there, our people were living in paradise. Just go look at history on how, over there in Mexico, that there are cities, built on water and all that stuff, Oh yeah, with gold and silver, it was beautiful out there. But it's when these crusty ass Edomites went out there, excuse my Italian, you guys messed it all up, and you wonder why there's like cartels and stuff like that out there, because the people are suffering, so they join gangs and stuff like that. I'm not saying that that's a good thing to do, because they do horrible stuff. But I mean, damn, the people do stuff like that. They have to rob and steal because you Edomites have torn the people apart. Of course, not recommending that, but that's just why people do what they do. That's not a good thing to do that. But you wonder why a lot of people are stealing and they're doing all this stuff is because the people are suffering. The people are poor. Why are they poor? Those lands, Brazil and all that, Chile, they're rich with resources. But it's because you're the so-called white man, you went in there and infiltrated them, and now you guys made it a third world country. Man, you know how rich South America is with resources? They should all be able to live off the land, no problem. But it's because you went in there and set up your bullcrap system. Now everybody's suffering. Now they're suffering. Facts. You know that there's our people down there are living real bad. They're real bad. Poverty is extreme down there. And there should be no reason that they're like that, because those countries are rich with resources. I mean, that place is full of green, green fruits and vegetables, everything, the water. But no, it's because you set up your bullcrap system. Now, our people are suffering. See that? Obadiah chapter 1 verse 3. The pride of thy heart. Obadiah 1 and 3. We're going to go. So that's why the heathen, let me read 2 again. Obadiah 1 and 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Yes, because the heathen now they're rising up against the Edomites, the West. That's why China, Russia, North Korea, even the Saudis, they're ganging up because they're ready to jump the so-called white man. Because you didn't just do it to the South. You didn't just do it to South America. You did it to the whole world. That's why you have U.S. embassies everywhere. You guys have U.S. military bases all over the world. Because you do the same thing all over. That's why you're in Afghanistan. What was the U.S. doing in Afghanistan? They were taking the lithium. What's the lithium? That's a resource that you have for your batteries. Oh yeah. Facts, because you go to these other countries and just take their resources, and then take out their leaders, send in a psychological psyops. You send in economic hitman, you send in CIA, MI6, and overthrow their leaders who want to take care of their people, and you set up your own puppet leaders, who want to go along with your program. You've been doing that all around the world. That's why the whole world is like, you know what? You're the fucking problem. Of course, not everybody in America is evil, but it's what you have done. Your top leaders here, it's what you have done around the world. That's why these nations are mad, because you have raped everybody. Facts. Everyone's like, you know what? You guys, that's all you do is rape, rob, and steal. And then you guys say, oh, well, what are you going to do about it? Well, the 144,000 are here now. The angels are here now. The Lord is gonna beat you down in 1 hour. 1 hour. Because the so-called white man, they think, who's gonna step up? The Lord's gonna step up to you. You're not even a challenge, Bob Barker. The Lord says you got 1 hour, Gumby. Straight up. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee. Yeah, because you guys are full of pride. Who's full of pride? Alright, so-called white man. Though thou dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks, because starting from Mount Petra, Mount Seir, that's where the so-called white man, that you guys are originally from Mount Seir. Mount Petra, that's south of Jerusalem. Alright? So that right there is that's before you guys went to the Caucasus Mountains. After the Roman Empire fell, after 300 AD, us Israelites pushed you guys into Georgia, Russia, the Caucasus Mountains, and you guys lived there for about 1,000 years. And that 1,000 years from mid 300 AD to mid 1300 AD was roughly around 1,000 years. The Edomites lived in those caves, the Caucasus Mountains, which is located in Georgia, Russia. And that was the Dark Ages, the medieval times, where us Israelites, we ruled in Europe. We ruled in Scotland. You see all those castles out there in Scotland and Europe and London? We built those castles. That was us. Facts. Remember that movie Braveheart? Remember with William Wallace? Okay, remember how they had those two people going against each other? That was us. That wasn't the so-called white man. Okay, that was Jake fighting against Jake. That was Judah fighting against Benjamin. That was us Israelites going at it with each other. Because the medieval times, that was us. The so-called white man, they weren't around. They were in caves in that time. See that? But the so-called white man lies about everything. That's why he's called the devil. Doesn't mean that he's a red reptile with a pitchfork, waiting underground, burning in eternity. No, that word devil simply means deceiver, false accuser, because they're professional liars. Alright, so that movie Braveheart, that was us. That was predominantly the southern kingdom fighting with each other. Judah fighting against Benjamin. That was Israelites fighting against Israelites. There was no so-called white man there. You guys were in the caves at that time, the Caucasus Mountains, surviving off marshmallows. Facts, baby. You know? Remember how they show the Vikings? Like you guys watch Netflix, you guys see the series of Vikings, and they talk like this, and they talk like this, and no. Okay, the Vikings were us, the tribe of Benjamin. You know Bob Marley? Okay, all right. He's from the tribe of Benjamin. Remember the Apostle Paul? He's from the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, the Vikings were Israelites from the tribe of Benjamin. That was us. All right, there ain't the so-called white man, and they talk like this. No, that's all lies, you guys. It's all lies. This is how far the so-called white man will go. See, isn't he silly? See, because he paints himself like he's everything. He wants to be everything but an Edomite. In fact, that's our history, you guys. We were the Vikings. That character Thor, okay, that was the Jake. Okay, that was an Israelite. It wasn't a so-called white man with long blonde hair. That's bugged out. You're telling me, the Vikings look like a woman? Nah, man, that's bugged out. See, the Vikings, that character Thor, he was real. Okay, but that was the Vikings. That guy Thor, he was a Viking. He was real. Okay, that was us. That was an Israelite. It wasn't a so-called white man. Thor was real. That's a real character. Okay, remember the movie 300 Spartans? That was us. Okay, that was us. That was the Israelites. That wasn't the so-called white man. See that? But the so-called white man, he steals everything. He steals all of our identity. But it's alright. Just because he made it up doesn't mean that it was them. It was us. See that? And now he paints a picture of the Son of Man, who the world stubbornly calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahushua. Now they painted him as a so-called white man. They stole his identity too and said, well, look at, we're going to paint God as a so-called white man. That's completely false too. The Lord looks like a so-called black man. Okay? Our Lord and Savior, his name is Yahushua, looks like a so-called black man. And his father, Yahweh, our Heavenly Father, looks like a so-called black man. Alright? Esau's bugged out, Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, though thou dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks, because they come from Mount Seir, Mount Petra. Alright? Whose habitation is high, because when you go to downtown Los Angeles, downtown Seattle, Dallas, Chicago, downtown New York. Okay, you have skyscrapers. Okay, no other heathens have they ever had those big skyscrapers like that. It's only underneath Esau, because Esau has a God complex. See, so that's why when you go to Esau cities, they have those skyscrapers. They have those tall buildings. All right, you go to Vegas, you got those tall buildings. That was never around before, during any other empire. That said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Because that's what so-called white man says right now. They say, bring it on. Who's going to take us down? The Lord's going to take you down in 1 hour, Barb Barker. You're not even a challenge. You can get mad as all you want. Go ahead, team up with whatever you want. Use whatever weapon of choice you want. You're going to get that beat down. You're going into slavery. And that's that. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 4. Okay, this is the Edomites' characteristics. Okay, this is just showing you that they're still on the earth today, and that they are the ones in rulership. This is just to let you know out there that the Edomites have never been done away with, because there's a lot of mess going on out there between these Christians and Catholics. Saying that the Edomites are done away. They're still here. Okay, so now this is their characteristics, right? Obadiah 1 and 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. Because who represents themselves and puts the bald eagle? It says that's us. Don't worry, I'll wait. So-called white man. So, because the Edomites are still here. And though they set thy nest among the stars, okay, over there in their satellites, NASA, the ISS, okay, who has them? The so-called white man. Now China's up there too, but who was first? The first ones up there were the Russians, but those are Edomites, so-called white man. They may be different from Americans, but they're still Edomites. See? And then America went, because Russia was the first ones up there. And nobody can pass the Van Halen belts. They can only go so far. Okay? The reason why these heathens and Edomites, they can't pass the Van Halen belts and they can't go to the bottom of the ocean, simply because this is not their planet. You know, the Lord gave you you heathens bounds that you cannot pass. You can only, like, you have restrictions. It don't matter how much you team up. You know how, you know, you want to open up CERN, go ahead, open up that bad boy. Open that bad boy up. You know, it don't matter. You know, go ahead, open portals, go for it. You ain't going anywhere. You know, you ain't going anywhere. You know, go for it, open them up. You know, turn that bad boy on blast. And though thy set thy nest among the stars, they're satellites, okay? They're space rangers, NASA, okay, NASA who are complete liars, all right? Thence I will bring thee down, said the Lord. Yeah, because, you know, China, Russia, and even America, they're liars. You know, they say that, oh yeah, we've been to the moon. Nobody can land on the moon. It's not a hard surface. The moon is a lumineer. Okay, it's like a gassy type material. You know, it's a light. The moon is a light. It's not like a planet, like a rocky material. See, but remember, you clowns, America. You guys filmed it that you guys landed on the moon in 1969. You cannot land on the moon. And remember, you showed the American flag. You know, like there was wind hitting it. Remember that when you guys filmed it? Okay, the reason why astronauts wear a space apparatus, a space suit, is because what? They need to breathe. What? Air. So there's no air up there. So how was there wind blowing in the flag when they went to the moon, supposedly? Okay, it's a lie. There's no air up there. There's no wind up there. So how was the American flag blowing in the wind? Totally bugged out. You know? Because that's all these heathens do. That's why they're in NASA. They're Freemasons and Jesuits. That's why they're all about secret societies, because like, don't say nothing, you know? Because once you say something, you figure out that they're full of shit. Ask them questions. Ask them, mijo. Ask them, mijo. Don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of them. But they play off your guys' fear, because you guys just listen to them just because they're in high position, you know? They're an astronaut or whatever. They're a high politician. So right away, a lot of our people just look at them and just ultimately think, oh, yup, these people, yup, they're right. They're righteous. You know, I'm not going to question them. Look, they're in high power. Fuck no. Okay, excuse my tongue. Question his ass. Because they're liars. This is who's ruling us. Can you imagine, you know, if you said it as a joke, okay, that's different. But can you imagine they said, oh yeah, we went to the moon, and they're just running with it? And then China's right there behind them, another stupid ass. China's like, yeah, we went there too. And then Russia, oh yeah, we went there too. This is who's ruling us, ladies and gentlemen. You know, a bunch of kids. You know, they say, yeah, we've been to the moon. Can you imagine? You know, leaders who actually lie to the people and say, yeah, we've been to the moon, when they never haven't even been on the moon? This is how stupid they are. That's why the Lord says when he gets here, he's going to open up a can of whoop ass. Because you can't lie no more. You can't act, you know? What are you going to do? Try to, you know, lie to the Lord and act? And the Lord's going to lay you down to you heathen Edomites. He's going to open up a can of whoop ass around here. He's going to set the record straight, you know? Because a lot of you guys are full of shit, straight up, you know? Go ahead, you know, you can lie off all you want, but the Lord's watching you, you know? Facts. This is who's ruling us, you guys. Don't be scared of them, you know? But the reason why they keep going is because they play off your fear, because people just see them and ultimately think, oh, okay, this person's a high-level politician or astronaut. Oh, nah, you know, they have, look at all their credentials, you know? Graduated from Harvard. There's no way they would lie to us. Bullshit. That's all they do is lie. Remember, the Edomites are professional liars. That's why they have Freemasonry, Jesuits, secret societies, because all they do is lie. Ask them questions, you know. Go, you know what? You can even find out that the moon is not like a solid rock, because you know how sometimes you guys can see, like, you know how sometimes during the daytime you guys can see the moon. Let's say like the moon's like, you know, halfway, you know, or whatever, you know, full, like halfway from a full moon or whatever. You know, you guys can go buy a camera at Target or Walmart, and you know, like a good camera that has a good zoom, and zoom in. You know, zoom in. You know, zoom in at you know, a high zoom in at the moon, and you'll see during the daytime, because you know sometimes you can see the moon during the day. Go buy a camera that has nice zoom. All right, at Walmart or Target, that's like around $200 if you can. Okay, this is just like a self-experiment. You know, you can do it right away, and you'll see that you'll be able to see through the moon, that the moon's transparent. If that moon was a solid planet, like a rock, like they told you, you wouldn't be able to see through the moon. So that's just a quick example. You'd be able to, just to show you, they can't land on the moon. It's a light. It's not like a planet where it's hard rock. Because you won't be able to see through the moon if it was. That's just one example to show you that these dudes that are leading us, these leaders are full of shit. That's why why do you think they have secret societies and all that? Because they're all full of shit. So that's why those of you that are scared of them, that sell out to them, because these leaders are soft. So if you guys sell out to them, that makes you super soft. Because they're straight up just lying. And they're saying, oh yeah, we're the boss. Man, you ain't nothing. You're going to slavery. Straight up. Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have stolen till they had enough? Right. Because these international bankers, starting with the Rothschilds, Rockefellers on down, all they do is steal. They don't even care about their own people. There should be no reason why there's a homeless Edomite in his own kingdom. That just shows you they don't care about their own people. There should be no reason why there's homeless veterans. They don't take care of their own soldiers. That's why the Lord's saying this man's greedy. His belly's never full. He just wants, and wants. But he never gives anybody a fair shake. That's why the Lord is about to take these Edomites and heathens out of power. Because they do not know how to rule. People are dying. Animals are dying. The planet is dying. So the Lord's like, that's it, Because these heathens are retarded. How art they cut off? Would they have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Yeah, because they're full of secret societies. So how are they being exposed? By the prophets, but ultimately by the Lord. Okay, because the Lord speaks through his prophets. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to thy border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and prevailed against thee. They that eat bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Yeah, because they're the base men. At your house you have let's say like at your house, because the Lord is referring Esau, the Edomites, out of all 18 nations that are in the world. Okay, the Edomites are the basis of all the nations. They're at the bottom because at your house, when you go into your house, your living room, your TV room, you have your kitchen. What do you have? You have your ceiling. You might have recessed lighting. You might have a ceiling fan. Okay, you might have some crown molding. Some of us, do. Some don't. But then you're gonna have, you might have the family photos. You might have a TV on the wall, a mirror. Okay, whatever, some family pictures. And then you go down to the bottom, right before the carpet, right before the tile or the floor. You have what? The baseboard, because the baseboard is at the bottom. It's the baseboard. That's why the Lord says the Edomites are the basis of men, because they're the baseboard. They're the base. They're at the bottom. All right. That's why like, remember Epstein Island. Remember these small hats. They're getting caught at their synagogues. That they have children down there. They're molesting them, because that's what they do. That's what these Edomites do. Okay, they molest children. Facts. And they like children. Can you imagine? You got all kinds of beautiful women around here, and you want to sleep with a child? What kind of shit is that? But that just shows you that's these Edomites. That's what they like. Facts. And that's what's happening all around the world. And people are not speaking about it. But the prophets, will talk about it. Facts. Hell with these devils. You see, but they wear a suit and tie and say, oh, you better not question us or else. Well, it's or else, baby. That's why those of you on the left-hand side, you say, well, is that your final answer? It's our only answer, cocksuckers. Straight up. You guys tell us, well, you better not say nothing or else. It's or else. Run it. Go for it. Bring it, Bob Barker. Facts. We're not like these sellouts. We ain't scared of your fruity ass. Everyone knows you're a pussy. Just shut up and sit down. It's enough. It's enough. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding him, right? Because they're base men. This is why Klaus Schwab and that devil Noah Harari, they think now they're trying to fight the Lord. Even Bill Gates is fruity ass. Okay, can you imagine? Look at those dudes. You tell me you're scared of those clowns? But they're ready to fight the Lord because they do have lasers in space. You know, that's why look at that book, Space Warfare. Facts. You know, this is a lot of you guys don't know. Okay, that they're preparing to fight the Lord, the second coming, but they're gonna get stomped out. You know, the Lord's just laughing at them. They're not even a challenge. You know, in their eyes and their big head, they think, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna counter the Lord, and you guys ain't gonna do shit but get your asses whooped. The Lord's gonna open up a can of whoop ass on you guys. It don't matter how many people you got on your payroll. That don't even matter. It don't matter how many teams you got out here. You guys are all retards. That don't even make a difference, baby. That's like grabbing one bucket out of the ocean of water. It's not even gonna make a difference. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 8. Shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and the understanding of the mountain of Esau? Obadiah 1 and 9. And thy mighty man, O Teman, because the Germans are the smartest out of the Edomites, the so-called white man. This is why after World War II, half of the German scientists went to Russia and half went to America because they're the smartest. Look at what Germany makes. You know, look at their watches, look at their cars, BMWs, Mercedes. You know, the Germans are the smartest out of the so-called white man. Shall be dismayed to the end that everyone of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. See that? Because even the Germans, you know, your guys are smartest scientists, astrologers, you know, your smartest professors, you guys are about to be, you know, astonished. You guys are going to be amazed when you see the power of the right hand side, the men with spiritual power, the angels. You know, because you guys are not going to have no answers. Nobody, none of you. You know, even going to your militaries, your military intelligence out there, everybody, all you nations, none of you are going to have an answer. You know, all you can do is look at each other and say, we're fucked. That's it. Obadiah, because you're going against your creator, literally, you know, not getting emotional, not talking tracks. This is facts. This is facts. You know, you're fighting against the creator of the universe. Look at how big this planet is. Look at the sun and the moon, how they always do their thing. Look how big the ocean is. Look how big the galaxy is, the universe. And here you are with some little RC cars, like, yeah, we're going to fight them, with some jets and tanks. And those are just toys to the angels and to the 144. These jets, you know, oh, America, you guys tested that, you guys had that, what was it? What do you guys call that? Oh, yeah. Because, you know, you guys had, like, the F-22 Raptor, the jet. You know, but recently, America, you guys tested your new F-24, your F-24 jet over there in Yemen. That's a nice jet, by the way, you know. But compared to the Lord, that's just a toy. You know, to man, it's like, oh damn, you know, because that is a nice jet. You know, give you guys props. You know, because America, you guys tested that F-24 jet over there in Yemen. You know, recently, and that's a nice jet. You know, I give you props. Hey, but to the Lord, these jets all around the world that Russia have, China, those are just toys to the 144 and the angels, and especially the Lord Yahushua, because they're just toys. If they're just toys to Yahushua, to the 144 and the angels, imagine Yahushua to the Lord. Come on, that's child's play for real. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 10, for thy violence. So why are they going to be cut off? Because the Edomites are going to go into slavery for 1,000 years, and then they're going to be cut off, you know, exterminated. Why? Verse Obadiah 1 and 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, right? Because, yeah, the Edomites are our evil brother. Remember, we came out of the same womb when Isaac and Rebekah had Jacob and Esau. We came out of Rebekah's stomach, Jacob and Esau. So the Edomites are a twin brother, but they hate us. So the Lord says, you continue to kill your brother and put your brother down. The Lord says, fine, it's enough. So the Lord says, I'm gonna have you go in slavery, and I'm just gonna exterminate you because you're just wicked. You're just evil. You know, you're even evil to your own kind. You're evil to the heathen. Everybody's mad at you. Even the animals. The animals are like, even the trees are like, take this nigga down. The whole earth is mourning because of you Edomites. Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. There it is. See? So now let's go to now let's bring up some pictures for you guys. Alright, to show you that the Edomites are still here, okay? Now let's go to let me get the internet going here. Let's look at some pictures of the architecture starting from Mount Petra, okay? So now let's go to Petra. Alright, right here. Petra. Alright, so we're gonna show you that the Edomites are still here. Because you guys build your buildings the same way, you know? The same way. You know, and you never change. So this is where the Edomites are originally from. Okay, it's called Mount Petra, Mount Seir, which is just south of Jerusalem. Okay, see that? And you can see that. You see how right here, see how the bottom right there, how they have their the pillars, and they have that triangle. See that? They do the same thing over and over again. Okay, they do the same thing over and over again. So this is where you Edomites are originally from, right here. Mount Petra, Mount Seir. See, you guys are from the mountains. That's why the so-called white men, you guys are constantly rock climbing. You know, when you guys get more money, you guys want to move to the hills because that's your habitation. See how it's like in the rock? See that? Look at the background. Look at this picture right here. See how it's like in the mountains? Because that's how you guys live. That's why you guys always want to go rock climbing, because it's in your nature. It's in your DNA. See that? Not talking down, you know. I mean, that's what you do. That's what you do. But this is why you like moving to the hills. That's why when you get money, you want to move to the hills, because that's your natural habitat. See that? And you don't even know that. See, some of you do, but some of you don't. That's where you guys are originally from. So see the pillars with the with that triangle. Okay. Now let's go to Greece. All right. Now let's go to Greece. All right. And see the buildings there. That one's a little broken up, but look, same thing. You know, you got the pillars with a triangle. You know, that triangle got a little messed up, but it's the same thing, because you Edomites are still here. See that? Same thing. The pillars with that triangle. So that triangle kind of got messed up, you know. But same thing. It's just to show you that the Edomites are still in power. Okay, it's just to show you that the Edomites are still in power. Now let's go to Rome. All right, check it out. You got the Colosseum, you know, because now what do you guys got now? Stadiums. You got NBA, NFL stadiums. Goes back to the Colosseums. And who were those gladiators? That was us, the Jakes. Okay, men of renown. All right, look at Rome. Remember how I showed you Mount Seir? Greece was a little bit messed up, but look at Rome. The same pillars with that triangle on top. See? Same thing all over again. Because the Edomites, you guys do the same thing over and over again. Because you're the basis of men. You got no flavor. You guys do the same thing over and over again. Look, see the pillars with the triangle? Okay? All right? So now, you know, people may say, okay, well, that's back in Rome. You see, the Edomites are done away with. All right, check it out. Let's go to Washington, D.C. It's just to show you that the Edomites are still in power. That's all it is, all right? It's just edification to show you that the Edomites are still in power. Okay, that you guys are still in power. Look at Washington, D.C. Okay? Look. You guys got the same thing. This is the Capitol, you know? Look at the building on the right with the pillars with the triangle on top. Might be a little bit different, but the same style. All right? See the Capitol, you know? All right, look at that. All right, you remember the time of Zeus? Let's go back. All right, remember, see the Capitol the way it looks? All right, let's go to ancient time. You know, the time of Zeus. Capitol, because Zeus was real. Okay, so let's go to Capitol. Capitol. It's called Capitol Lime Hill. That's where Zeus reigned, and Zeus wasn't a god. Okay, the only god is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, but Zeus was real. Okay, Zeus was real, 100%. Capitol Lime Hill, and that was over there in Rome, right? Okay, but that's where Zeus, where he ruled, over there in Rome. Okay, and Check it out. See if we can find a good picture here. Let's see what they got here. Capitol Hill. Like that, and go with Zeus. Okay. Let's go here. That's where, cause Zeus was real, but he wasn't a god. Okay, but he ruled right there in Capitoline Hill, Rome. I'm trying to get like a better picture of that building for you guys. Capitol in Rome. Let's see here. But let's just show. Look at here's the. Check out Rome. You know, look at same thing. You guys got the pillars with the triangle on top. Same architecture, same style, all the way back from Mount Seir, Mount Petra. See that? Ancient Rome capital. Where's that building I'm trying to see here? I can't pop up for some reason. So it's the same architecture, you know, same thing all over again. But that's just to show you that the Edomites are still in power. Okay, that they're still ruling, and that they're still here. So that way, those of you that say, "Oh no, the Edomites have been done away with," that's false and incorrect. You know, it's false and incorrect because they do the same thing over and over and over again. There's their buildings right there, Washington, D.C. Let me see if I can find another picture here better for you guys. You know, look at the same building, the same way. Look, you have the pillars with a triangle on top. See? So going all the way from Mount Seir, Mount Petra, to from the Greeks, the time of Alexander, to the Romans, you know, from all the Caesars, you know, to Domitian, all right, and then to Washington, D.C., and then other Edomite spots, you know. Facts. They got the same building. Look at that. It's the same thing. That's just to show you guys that the Edomites are still here. This is just a history lesson, you guys. It's to show you that the Edomites are still here and that they are the ones ruling right now. Because who is on all the American dollar bills? Who? The Edomites. Are there any so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans on that dollar bill? No. Okay, they are the Edomites. Yes, there are Americans here. You know, there are you know, different nations, the Israelites here who are, you know, have their own businesses and stuff. There's heathens here. But who's running this bad boy? The Edomites. They're the ones who are in charge. Okay? They call themselves so-called white man, but that word so-called white man, it didn't come about to 1681. Because never in the Romans, you call them the Romans. The Greeks, did you say, oh, hey, are you white? You know? Like, hey, is your brother white? Is your father white? No. Were they Greek or were they a Roman? And they spoke Latin back then. See? You know? So that word, so-called white man, that didn't come about to 1681. That's just to show you, all right, that the Edomites are still here, that they've never been done away with. Look at, they're doing the same thing over and over again, from Petra, Mount Petra, to
Sophia, hurry up and clean it up. Otherwise, we won't invite you to tonight's charity.
To Greece, to Rome, to Washington, D.C., to show you that the Edomites are still here in power. So with that, Lord willing, you guys were edified, faith boosted. Keep the faith. Shalom. On your feet, soldier.